Yes, ma'am. Please. You able to see the screen?
Yes. तद्विद्धि परिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. I'll repeat again.
So we will repeat after you, ma'am. We will repeat
Okay.
after you.
Okay.
Once you say one line, we will try to
Okay.
repeat after you so that it becomes a
Okay.
practice for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
तद्विद्धि परिपातेन
Tadvidhi pranipatena
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Okay, so I'll try to read the shloka. Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34 shloka. Tadvidhi pranipatena
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Nice. Who else wants to try?
Lot of Sanskrit loaded into that.
Yeah. Shall I read it? Can I say?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Please, Anand.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते
ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Nice. Satish, Madhu or Sandeep, please try. Satish?
तद्विधि प्राणिपतेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्राणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपादेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ये ज्ञानम्
उपदेश्यन्ति ये ज्ञानम्. Okay.
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ये ज्ञानम्. ज्ञानानिस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Okay.
Nice. Madhu, you want to try?
No, Neeru. Go ahead with synonyms.
Okay. Sandeep, how about you? Sandeep, you want to give it a try?
Sandeep may be on mute.
He's coming. Okay.
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिपास्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Nice. So I will read the synonyms. Synonyms. Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34 shloka. Tat, that knowledge of different sacrifices. Vidhi, try to understand. Pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprasnena, by submissive inquiries. Sevaya, by the rendering of services. Upadikshayanti, they will initiate. Te, you. Jnanam, into knowledge. Jnaninaha, the self-realized. Tattva, of the truth. Darshinaha, seers. Translation: just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquiring from him submissively, and rendering service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport, who would like to read it?
Purport. The purport. The path of, I am audible?
Yeah.
Okay. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as it is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmartha
Dharmam
tu Shakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always
Join
ready
us.
to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect.
Okay, nice.
Ranjan, over to you.
Thank you, Anand. I think I'll try to put my thoughts and comments on this very important shloka, Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 34 shloka. Just to have a quick recall, like this particular chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, is talking about Jnana, Karma, Sannyasa, Yoga. In this particular shloka, Bhagwan is sharing the ultimate process, the absolute technique which one has to follow such that he will be able to realize the ultimate truth for himself, and with that kind of an acquiring such kind of a realization, that particular individual, when he follows this particular process, he will be able to liberate himself. Not only will he be able to find such kind of liberation, he will be able to help the entire family and the society as a whole. Because as an every individual, once he starts acquiring the true knowledge, there is a self-inquiry which starts happening in that particular individual. There is a self-inquiry which happens within himself, whether he is doing any kind of a thinking, or whether he is doing any kind of a work or any kind of an action, whether he is having a kind of a transaction with himself, or he is having a transaction with his personal life, in his family, or in his professional life. This particular individual will be able to be very balanced in his life. So the technique that is being offered here in this shloka of 4th chapter, 34th shloka, directly by Bhagwan. Let us look at this shloka once again. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadikṣanti te jnanam jnaninas-tattvadarshinaha. Now, very nicely, Bhagwan is saying that knowledge of different sacrifices. He's saying here, what is the kind of a knowledge? This is that knowledge of different sacrifices. Like we have seen in the previous shlokas, the sacrifices are of different types. This sacrifice doesn't mean to say that I am not giving something to myself and then I'm giving it to the other person. No, that is not the meaning of sacrifice. The meaning of sacrifices is your kind of a commitment to acquiring a particular knowledge, or your kind of a commitment for acquiring a particular skill sets in performing your activities and actions. It could be in various forms of your life. It could be for your own growth. It could be for your own self personal knowledge. It could be for acquiring a kind of a activities in terms of a skill set, in terms of a certifications or skill sets, for competency skill sets at various levels. It could be in sports, it could be in education, it could be in delivering a particular activity, it could be in art, it could be in science, anywhere. What is the commitment that one is able to offer? There are the different levels of sacrifices. What are they? Because you want to acquire that knowledge, are you able to get up in the morning sacrificing your sleep? Are you able to go to the next level sacrificing your tiredness? You are tired already, but are you able to take that one step forward? Are you able to improve your stamina to one drop next level? So that is the kind of a sacrifice that particular we are looking at. Why? Because we want to acquire that knowledge. This chapter is talking about first jnana. We want to acquire the knowledge, and knowledge doesn't come straight away if we are not able to offer our own efforts in the form of sacrificing the luxuries, the comfort zone. Am I able to cross my comfort zone? I don't want to be in my comfort zone and then I'm able to acquire the knowledge. I am in my comfort zone, I will never be able to acquire the knowledge. I can never be the true seeker. Am I comfortable with myself? Okay, this knowledge I have now, my thirst is quenched. There is no more seeking, no more sacrifice. Sacrifice is the key word. We got to understand sacrifice calls for an action. It calls for a determination. It calls for anchoring ourselves into the purpose of acquiring that particular skill set and knowledge. So this becomes very, very, very core point of this particular shloka, where Bhagwan is directly saying that knowledge of different sacrifices. We must understand this. There, there are different types of sacrifices we are going to offer. It is the sacrifice of the time. It is the sacrifice of the space. It is the sacrifice of the comfort zone. It is various levels of sacrifice of our own ego. So we got to look into that particular aspect deeply and wider. When once we are starting to do that, when we try to understand it in a very scientific manner, Bhagwan is saying, Vidhi, try to understand. What is it that we want to try to understand? We want to try to understand what are the various sacrifices, different types of sacrifices we got to offer in order to acquire that knowledge. That knowledge, here that becomes very important. That means that ultimate knowledge. That knowledge, when one gains, he doesn't need to acquire any further knowledge. It is that knowledge. So if you want to understand that knowledge, which once you start understanding, you will not require to understand anything further or seek anything further. That knowledge, right? Now, pranipatena, by how here Bhagwan is very clearly advising a proper process, and the only process of acquiring that knowledge, the only process for understanding that knowledge is by way of approaching a spiritual master. Now, this is the only method, this is the only process which is ultimately defined by Bhagavan, that we got to approach a spiritual master. Why should we approach a spiritual master? Because this particular spiritual master is just not a teacher. He's not an adhyapak where he is teaching you for a fees. You will find many teachers in this world, but they do it as a transaction, as a fee. You pay them a fees and then he forgets about it. He will say, I have completed my syllabus, boss. My course starts on this time, it ends on this time. You pay the fee, then only you enter into the session. You don't pay the fee, please don't come into the class session. Finish. He is a teacher. He is it is especially a materialistic kind of a transaction. So there is a difference between a adhyapak, a teacher, and a guru. A guru is a spiritual master who is not just a self-realized soul, but he has undergone this process himself. He has undergone through this process himself. He understands the challenges which he has gone through during this process. He understands every step of the process before he would have become a bona fide spiritual master. He understands that what the student will be going through, a spiritual seeker or a knowledge seeker, that knowledge seeker, what are the emotional challenges this particular person will be going through, the guru knows that, because he himself has gone through that process. He understands what are the materialistic challenges that he is going to face his own disciple. He understands. He knows what kind of sacrifices that this particular student of is trying to go through. So he becomes more and more compassionate. He will never try to squeeze out of unnecessary things from his disciple if he is a genuine spiritual master, because his only goal is to elevate the other person to higher levels and make him to understand the ultimate truth, that knowledge of the Parabrahman. When he acquires that knowledge, his disciple will not have to know any other knowledge. This is possible only by a qualified spiritual master. And now further Bhagwan is saying what is the quality of the disciple, that the way he has to approach such kind of a spiritual master. He's offering a very nice technique, because we today, many of the students, if we see, they say, sir, hello guru. They take it very granted. Very loosely they use the words. They do not understand the value of the spiritual master. That particular element is missing in today's generation. Whose fault is this? We got to understand. But Bhagwan is saying what is the behavioral pattern, what should be the psychological pattern of this particular student who is working towards understanding that particular knowledge. A sincere student, this qualification of this student is to be submissive. He is not just going to be a submissive. Bhagwan is very nicely qualifying his statement. He says that this student should have the ability to inquire submissively. He is not just going to the spiritual guru and asking, okay guru, tell me this particular thing. No, there is a method of asking the question. There is a method of listening when when his guru is speaking. There is a method of doing a swadhyayana for understanding what the guru would have said. There is a kind of inquiring process to do his own personal study, personal processes, personal activities, personal sacrifices that that particular student will be doing. Only when he does that will he understand the challenges that he is facing and the challenges that his guru would have already gone through. And he understands it is such a difficult task to get it. In order to get the solution for it, for example, if I'm playing a particular sport and then the coach would have already played the game, probably he would have failed a few thousand times, and then he is now today a good player and he has become a coach. The one tip or one technique that that particular coach, when he offers his player, his entire performance level rises to a very high level. And suddenly, boop, people will start thinking, hey, what happened? Within no time, this person has improved his skill set, his competency to such high level. How is that possible? It is possible because this particular disciple has followed the instructions of the tip that was offered by his coach, and it makes lot of difference in his performances. It might be very small bad habit, it might be a very small difference in his approach, it might be a very little difference in his attitude. The moment the qualified guru offers the tip and the disciple is able to submissively ask, what is my situation? Why is it that I am not able to hit this goal? Or why is it that I'm not able to understand this subject in this manner? Very submissively, when he asks, the guru will render that particular knowledge. Why is this? Because the guru is selfless. He is basically selfless. He will initiate his disciple into this knowledge, whatever that knowledge could be. It could be spiritual knowledge, or it could be the professional competency oriented knowledge. It applies at both the levels. The difference being, one is charging for you as a adhyapak, and the other is seeking to elevate you to a higher level in understanding that knowledge. And when will he offer? When will one disciple be eligible to acquire such kind of knowledge? Only when this Sishya is able to render the services submissively, very submissively. This we will experience especially in our Guru Sishya Parampara, in that disciplinic succession. Having said this, we have to understand that we got to qualify a guru as well. Even Swami Vivekananda, he has always been inquiring Ramakrishna Paramamsa. He has asked a number of different types of questions, but the way the questions have been asked, and the guru understands what kind of a psychology, what kind of a behavioral pattern this disciple is, and accordingly he will start responding, such that he is able to slowly move the seeker into the knowledge. Why is he able to do it? Because this particular spiritual master is already a self-realized master. What kind of a self is this? Of the tattva. He understands the truth, because this spiritual master has seen the truth. He is a seer already. This spiritual master has seen the truth of that particular knowledge, which is possible through different sacrifices. So in this shloka of Bhagavad Gita 4.34, in the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Bhagwan is offering the ultimate process of identifying the right qualified guru. Number one, he is clearly sharing what is the quality of a bona fide spiritual master. Number three, he is very clearly suggesting the quality of a disciple, where this disciple has to be having this quality of submission, the quality of sacrificing, the quality of asking, the technique of communicating, asking the question in a qualified question with submissive nature, the quality of rendering services towards the guru, such that the guru is then able to identify what are the problems, challenges that I am facing as a disciple. The more services I am with, the more time I spend with my guru, I will understand, the guru will understand me better. I will understand my guru much better. So this transaction of rendering services is the key technique which offers to understand between the guru and the sishya the challenges which the sishya is facing. The moment the guru identifies that, then the guru is able to take him and initiate him into the right process of acquiring that ultimate knowledge, because this qualified bona fide guru has already is a self-realized liberated seeker of the truth who has seen that knowledge. So in this shloka, Bhagavad Gita 4.34, Bhagavan is offering the technique of identifying a guru and the qualifications of the guru and the sishya, and the way one has to able to render the relationship between the guru and the sishya, elevating oneself, every individual, into the path of that knowledge. Once we know this knowledge, there is no need of knowing any other knowledge of the ultimate Parabrahman. This is the shloka which is talking about this relationship. Bhagavad Gita 4.34. With this, I stop my comments. If Dr. Sujata Garu has any comments, please share.
Sir, I'm spellbound by the way you explained the whole thing. It was so nice, sir.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, good. So, any other comments, or then we can close the session. It's 9:51 now.
Neeru?
Yeah.
But as you said, very good. But nowadays in this Kali Yuga, it is very difficult for us to get a selfless oriented guru.
Madhu, you're right in that aspect. Before we can say we can find a selfless guru, we must ask a question to ourselves: am I seeking the right guru? Am I so crying to see that kind of a guru? If you have that kind of a focus, Madhu, I'm telling you, నేను నా గురువుని కలిశాను, నీకు తెలుసు నేను సంవత్సరాల తడబడి ఏడ్చాను టు సీ మై గురు. అంటే అమ్మవారితో సాధన చేసేటప్పుడు ఐ యూస్ టు క్రై. ఎందుకంటే నీకు లోపల నుంచి ఆ తపన రావాలి, లోపల నుంచి రావాలి. దట్ ఆర్ద్రత హ్యాస్ టు కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇన్సైడ్ యూ. లోపల నుంచి రావాలి. ఐ మస్ట్ సీ మై గురు, ఐ మస్ట్ మీట్ మై గురు, ప్లీజ్ హెల్ప్ మీ. యూ మస్ట్ రెండర్ యువర్ ప్రేయర్. నీ అంత తపన ఉండాలి. అప్పుడు గురు ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ దేర్. యూ విల్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ ఐడెంటిఫై. అతను ఎన్నోసార్లు కలిసి ఉంటావు బహుశా, యూ డోంట్ ఈవెన్ నో, దేర్ ఇస్ నో ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్. బట్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఆ తపన ఉంటది కదా, ద నేచర్ విల్ రియలీ హెల్ప్ యూ. ప్రకృతి మనకు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. వి విల్ కమ్ అక్రాస్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్. మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేసుకోవాలా. అండ్ ఆ ఆర్ద్రత ఏ నయ్యేతో మై కెసే జీవుంగా హౌ అది వచ్చింది అని అనుకుంటే ఖచ్చితంగా యూ విల్ ఫైండ్ అ గురు హూ విల్ టేక్ యూ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్.
That I do understand, but
no,
I'm really blessed because I got a selfless guru for myself.
Fantastic.
So
no, it's a blessing. I'm telling you.
In general,
అది లోపల నుంచి రావాలా.
I give a general statement that in this Kali Yuga, it is very difficult for us to get a selfless guru. Which
Correct, you are right.
Luckily, we got it. You and me have got it, and
yes.
I hope all who are there in the session might have got their own experiences. But as a general overall statement, I commented that nothing to say anything against anyone.
No, what I mean to say is the approach is different. It has to come from the disciple, not from the guru. See, guru is already there. The seeker who is seeking is seeking for that true knowledge. వాడు ఎంతసేపు నాకు ఈ మెటీరియల్ బెనిఫిట్ వస్తుందా దాని గురించి చూస్తున్నాడు, ప్రాకలాడుతున్నాడు. He is going for the materialistic benefits. The seeker is going for the materialistic benefits. He is not going for true knowledge. నేను ఈ పని చేస్తే నాకు ఒక జాబ్ వస్తుందా, నేను ఈ పని చేస్తే నాకు ఒక పిల్లలు పుడతారా, లేకపోతే ఈ పని చేస్తే నాకు ఒక మంచి భార్య వస్తుందా, ఇదేంది నా వాళ్ళు ఇంటలేదు, లేకపోతే నా కూతురికి ఇది వస్తుందా, ఎంతసేపు ఇదే పాకులాట కదా. The seeking is this. Therefore, it is not the problem with the guru or the people who are identifying Dungi people. They are taking advantage. Whereas if you seek the ultimate true knowledge, that knowledge, automatically you will find that kind of a guru who is selfless. Automatic.
Sir, I'm reminded here, whenever some of our students say the teachers are not coming to the class regularly, they have a complaint. I ask them, have you all thought of uniformly, why didn't my teacher come? Have you ever thought of that way?
Exactly.
All of you, if all of you had thought, yes, I want a teacher in my class, then some power would have brought her here.
Exactly.
But since you did not have the inclination to have the teacher in your class, the teacher was not there in your class.
Correct. Absolutely true, ma'am. See, Madhu Chudu, practical example. Another practical example. In fact, another practical example, Dr. Sujata Garu is heading that department, where her students, it's true. Today, our quality in the student is not there. A seeker lo a quality ledu. And our fault everdi, manade our fault. Because we are not teaching at home. Mana unit level lo we are not teaching it. That we got to teach those habits. We got to teach those behavioral patterns. Ever the problem? Parenting problem. It's a parenting problem. So we got to understand parenting is so important. Parenting లేకపోతే it will not happen. ఇప్పుడు కొంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎందుకు మంచిగా బ్రైట్ గా అవుతారు, because their parents take so much of interest in them. వాళ్ళను ఎట్లాంటి పుస్తకాలు చదవాలి, లేకపోతే ఎట్లాంటి వాళ్ళతో మిక్స్ అవ్వాలి, లేకపోతే it appears to be restricting, but they do not understand the value of the discipline. ఎవరైతే అది ఫాలో అయిపోతారో they will understand once they grow up. Of course, parenting is an art and a science. మనం ఆ రెండింటిని బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసుకోగలగాలి ప్రాపర్ గా. ఆ ఆర్ట్ అండ్ సైన్స్ టుడే ఇట్స్ రియలీ మిస్సింగ్, బికాస్ ఇంతకుముందు మన అవన్నీ కూడా కంబైన్డ్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ ఉండాలి. సో పీపుల్ ఆఫ్ వేరియస్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ వేర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్యామిలీస్. టుడే ఇట్స్ స్పోరాడిక్ ఫ్యామిలీస్. అంటే ఓన్లీ ఫాదర్ అండ్ మదర్ యంగ్స్టర్స్, దే డోంట్ నో వాట్ టు డూ. వాడు ఏడ్చాడంటే ఎందుకు ఏడుస్తున్నాడో కూడా తెలియదు. ఆకలికి ఏడుస్తుండా, లేకపోతే ఉచ్చపోయి ఏడుస్తుండా, లేకపోతే ఫర్ వాట్ ఈస్ క్రైమ్, అది కూడా మనకు తెలియదు. The young parents now, young couples, they don't know. And why will they know? And they do not know to evarni poi adagalo kuda teliyadu. They don't know evarni poi adagalo kuda teliyadu. So atlanti paristhitilo enta stress untundi chudu life lo. They have lost. But lucky are those people who are having such kind of parents. They are lucky. Wallu blessed, such that they are able to strike this kind of a balance. So parenting is another key important role we have to be working on. It's a fault of the student. I would say it's a fault of the student, seeker. Gurus are always there.
But sir, as Mr. Madhu said, there may be one or two students who are like you with a blessed parents around them, but when they go in a group, of 40 or 35, they had to be in the herd. So one of the seeker or one of the one among the whole 40, their earning will not be answered, because the others are not that much interested in learning or knowing or understanding. That level is not there with others. Maybe it is one student who, like, as you said, with a blessed background, she might have that kind of a yearning in her.
Yes.
So there, the whole set of students, they lose the opportunity.
Yes. అందుకనే మన వాళ్ళు కూడా మంచిగా చెప్తారు కదా, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు లెర్న్ అ న్యూ నాలెడ్జ్, we should be in such kind of a group. Andukane that group makes, we are talking about a satsang, but it's about a sang. The fundamental concept is sang. Sang. So the kind of people we associate ourselves with, because this body is not a complete set of mind. This body is a complete set of mind. Even if I'm sleeping, I'm acquiring knowledge, even if I'm sleeping. So if I'm meeting with such kind of people, what will happen is one time or the other they will influence us in some form or the other. I've also experienced it. Though being such kind of thing, we will slip. There's every opportunity of slipping. and then the Maya is so strong that we will always be in a comfort zone. The moment we are in comfort zone, we become relaxed. The moment we become relaxed, we have lost that seeking ability. We have lost that seeking ability. The moment we have lost the seeking ability, gone. We have lost our journey.
Yeah.
We have lost our
You are
journey.
stopped there.
We
You
stop.
stop there.
We
You
stop.
are stagnant. You are
Yes.
stagnant there.
Yes, ma'am. So that spiral, that's the reason we have to be selective in choosing a group with who I should be able to spending. It's about spending time with what kind of people am I going to spend time? What kind of quality books am I reading? What is the inputs I'm giving into this mind? What is the inputs I'm constantly giving into my mind? My mind includes all the Arishad Vargas, including my Panchakoshas. So what kind of inputs am I giving? Gigo, it's Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. Simple. Very simple. If we spend more time with garbage, garbage only will be out. We spend more time with quality people, quality will be out. Very
The
simple.
quality of food that you eat gives
Yes.
nourishment to your body. Same way.
Absolutely.
Is to your
Absolutely,
mind
ma'am.
also.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's absolutely. So it starts with the inputs what we are giving to this Panchakosha, to my Panchendriyas, all my Jnanendriyas. What is the input I'm giving? The moment I'm giving such kind of an input into that, automatically this has the ability to process accordingly. This machinery is defined already. Very nicely it is defined. So automatically the output will be like that. Automatically. So I think we have to take that initiative of creating such kind of an awareness. And there is another good thing also which I've observed, though previously I said that it's students are not able to seek, but I see that nowadays the students are really becoming good seekers. They have understood that today the environment is offering a lot of opportunities for them in every field. They have understood that there is an opportunity in every field. There is a recognition that is happening in every field. I think I'm again seeing the ancient India, the Vedic culture kind of a stuff, where every kind of a skill set, a competency was harnessed. So now again, such kind of an opportunity is coming, borderless. You want to acquire any knowledge, any person who is really good, you can go and then seek. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of technology. So it's offering both at the same time. It is offering that particular borderless thing is offering good and bad on the platter. Now simultaneously it is
And
available. It is available.
What you choose.
Yes. Now free will, choice. What is your choice? Every time we have to be conscious of making a choice, and every time there's an opportunity of slipping.
Yeah.
Equal opportunity is there of missing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think it's a very
Here,
important
parenting plays the most important role.
Parenting, ma'am.
As you said,
Absolutely.
yes, here parenting plays the most important.
Because we have to put those filters, the psychological filters, we have to put them at a very early age. At a very early age, we
Yes,
have to
sir.
put the psychological filters. Those filters are not there.
Yes.
It becomes really, it's so difficult to change it after some time.
True.
So difficult.
I agree.
Yes, ma'am.
My
But I
own
think
parenting, I would say,
Mm.
now that my daughter says, I'm so happy that I'm brought up this way. So I feel
correct.
very happy now. She's now in
Yes.
Sweden. So she
Uh,
keeps saying, I'm so happy that I'm brought up in this culture and with
Excellent.
this bondage with you people. I'm very happy, she used to say.
Yeah, very nice.
Of
Very
course,
nice.
with a lot of restrictions.
Yeah, because the first guru is a parent, both mother and father. The first teacher, the first gurus are already parents. So if they are good, they were already identified. They have already got their guru. Because in a way, my spiritual direction is also first initiated thanks to my father. Because of him only, I think I'm in this direction. Probably the way I am today is because of my parents, to a very large extent. Of course, the other things I would have worked on acquiring certain skills, identifying what are the gaps which are there, and then working on it. And it's a constant, regular thing. It's a regular thing. So guru plays a very important role, but seeking is also equally important. And for that, parenting is the key. Today, parenting is the key. Yes, ma'am. So we will work on parenting also, ma'am. In our foundation, like I've been discussing with you, one of the things is we will be working on parenting techniques as well at different levels. The techniques of parenting and how at all different levels. The moment they are young couples and then before marriage or just going to be married, they must already be knowing these things, uh, how they have to be there, and how the egos are playing between a male young husband and the egos which the young wife is going to experience. So they have to be aware of such kind of things. That's the reason if you see the even the divorce rates are increasing today, even in India, happening more so in Mumbai and Bangalore. It's
In
all because
Chennai is
they
no less.
Chennai also no less. I see, but I'm listening more in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, ma'am. Hmm.
I
So
think
yeah,
that is an output
Sandeep, sorry, we lost
for
you.
themselves,
Hmm.
and generally
Sandeep, we are losing
the
your.
rate that you're talking about, Bangalore or Delhi or Bombay.
Huh.
Are you able to hear me?
Hmm.
Yes, but it's in broken words.
Okay, I was trying to say that whatever you are talking, that the rate of divorce is higher in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore.
Yeah.
I think it's directly proportional to the kind of exposure the women get there,
That's right.
and they are see, there are some good parts of a culture, and there are some not so great also, where
Mm.
the woman is treated as just a family person and the person who's going to take care of the house. Now
Yeah,
the career aspirations or other things which a woman of today has were probably not so prevalent in olden times. So
that's
the
right.
moment whenever there is a clash of these interests, and if the woman is strong willed, she doesn't want to give up on her own personal aspirations, apart from what she has obligations and responsibilities towards the family. I
Mm.
think the seed of divorce gets set there,
That's right.
and if there is no compatibility over a period of time, I think that's when the people decide to split. Unlike how it is generally used to happen in olden times, and even today happens in smaller cities and towns and villages, where they say कि चलो भाई अभी बच्चे हैं तो उनके लिए compromise करना पड़ेगा, तो हमको रहना पड़ेगा, and things like that. So which was always that, we have to live for the family. Now people have started identifying, the women have started identifying that even I am an independent soul, independent person. I came alone, I'm going to go alone. So whatever time I'm here, I want to live on my terms.
That's
So
right.
I think this is more prevalent in urban towns, and people in Bombay, Bangalore, and Delhi have more exposure to these things, and they don't think it as a taboo anymore, as compared to any other smaller town. So I think the genesis of this entire thing starts there, which it's a perspective. It is right or wrong. I believe that it is right if you are not compatible with somebody, and if you think that this is not a life that you want, you have all the right to choose to move on. And same is true. Now, I'm not saying that only the woman decides that, even a husband decides that. So, but I think earlier, women used to take silently. Today, they are not, and rightly so. They should not take it silently.
Correct. No, you have rightly pointed out, Sandeep. There is a valid point in what you said. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we are human beings. At the end of the day, we are human beings. It is Maya which is ruling us. We are forgetting that we are human beings. We are working like machines. We are working like machines. So it's an unfortunate sin, and it's a impact of the Maya and the Kali Yuga. It has its own curve. So this curve will definitely be going up, no doubts about that, absolutely no doubts. It will go up, go up, go up to such an extent, and then they will once again start realizing that this is not what they are seeking at. If you see, for example, at one point in time, even if you see the generations which are going in, the culture of the movies also, if we start observing, because I'm taking the example of movies, is because so that we both connect very easily on that movies part, correct, between you and me. So if, say for example, if you see any of these Hollywood movies also, at one point in time it was only just a living relationship, or then you have a fun and then you fucking forget kind of stuff. But today, if we again observe the same directions, the same screenplays, they are changing the wordings. Home is everything, it's all relationship. The very language is changing today, even if it is for a short period. The language is changing. You see, because now they have gone to such an extreme in Hollywood that they realize, boss, all their families are getting split. And one of the major influences is definitely movies for the young generation. And now more so, the gaming has become so important. People are all playing games. Gaming is another biggest influencer now. It's become such an influencer that people started living their lives in the games. It's another big influencer. So we got to understand that these particular aspects have to be created such that, because human mind is seeking always, it's receiving information and it behaves accordingly. It thinks that's the truth. It starts behaving. So we got to observe these influencer medias. What is the influencing media which is influencing the society, which is influencing the human behavior? So that is becoming the guru now. The media is becoming the guru. We don't have that kind of a quality media content in volumes and being presented in a very nice fashionable manner for them. They don't get attraction. It's all about attraction. Human being works on attractions. You are not presenting the information in an attractive manner, they will not come in. Why should they come in? They want attraction. So give them that kind of an attraction, which is talking about what are the ways in which we need to live. We are social animals. We are forgetting that. And who is the influencer? Media again. That recognition, all those things are happening. But of course, there is no support system at the back end. It's good to say on these words, but very difficult to implement by few people thinking. But of course, those few people are the people who are going to be securing themselves, and then over a period of time, once the downward come completely down, it happens, and then there is a new generation, new cycle again coming up. So we only can say, if I can do something to my family and share as much as possible within friends and well-wishers, if something good can be understood and they are able to implement it in their life, very good. Else we should float with the things. We can say wherever it is possible, okay, this is like this, this is like this. Please do, if it is possible, get in touch with us. We are available. Simple. But we cannot do further. Or we should very strongly be producing mass content. Huge voluminous mass content has to be generated, where people are able to see it constantly. Then that's possible again. So see if we can create such kind of mass voluminous, very attractive kind of content and media. So that should be the goal. Yeah, it's nice discussion. I think it's 10:12. We have crossed our timeline. 10:15, I got another appointment. So is it okay we close the
thank
session?
You.
Yeah, thank you, Satish.
Namaste, sir. Good night.
I loved it what you're speaking. Very contemporary, very relevant.
Nice.
And definitely it's an this is a discussion will be a long time throughout our lifetime as we are growing, and so that we can share things very rightly, aptly said. I always tell Niranjan,
yeah, thank you.
The onus lies on us as a parent to take a call. Yeah.
See, agar मैं घर में नहीं कर रहा हूँ, how can I expect my child to do it? Very
Charity begins at home, darling.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
हम घर में सीधा नहीं तो बाहर क्या करेंगे यार?
Correct.
फिर घर में कहाँ बोलते तो मेरे दिल में.
That's right. चलो.
Sorry to speak in Hindi. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll carry forward. I Sandeep, thanks.
Okay. So shall we take leave then? Good night. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
madam,
Madhu.
for your
Bye,
presence
Madhu.
here. Thank you, Satish. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, Anand.
Bye.
Thank you, Sandeep. See you soon. Bye.
Okay.
Good night,
Bye.
Sandeep. Good night, Satish. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye. Bye, Anna. Anna,
Good
bye,
night
Nay.
to everyone.
Good night.
all.
Good night.
Everyone, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.